Welcome back to Reimagine 2020. I'm Yonah Hochhauser, and today I'm glad to be joined by Justin Sun, founder of the TRON Foundation and CEO of BitTorrent. Justin, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now, Justin, there are so many blockchain protocols out there. What makes TRON special, and what's the vision of TRON?
Yeah, sure, definitely. TRON has been dedicated self into decentralized web for quite a long time. So you can see all the TRON application and the enterprise under the TRON umbrella. It's always focused on building decentralized web. So we are interested in decentralized technology. For example, TRON is a decentralized smart contract protocol, and BitTorrent is a P2P file transfer network. So we always focusing on the decentralizing the web. And also recently we have been pushed a lot efforts on decentralized finance, known as DeFi. So if in a nutshell, I believe TRON right now is completely focused on decentralizing the web and the finance infrastructure. And also talking about the TRON advantage compared to the Ethereum, I think there's two biggest advantage. First of all, TRON is super fast. It's 1,000 times faster than Ethereum. And also at the same time, the gas fee on TRON is extremely cheap. So it's only costs you less than 1 cent to process all the TRON transaction. These days, if you are a player on Ethereum, you will find out it is extremely hard to trade on Ethereum because it costs like a lot of the money to make the trade. In the highest range, it may cost you like $1,000 to make a transaction for the process fee. And also it takes like an hour to process all the transaction. So Ethereum network, because of like everybody is using it, so it right now is extremely expensive and very slow. So in TRON, you can get a very cheaper price and also easy to use. So I take this like the biggest TRON advantage, but also we still have lots of the ecosystem benefits. For example, we have over 4 billion USDT on TRON, and also we have lots of the developers and the users on the TRON network as well.
Well, that's a lot of the effects, but let's speak a little bit about the cause. What actually technically separates TRON from other blockchains like Ethereum? Because we mentioned a lot of DeFi, and you mentioned that TRON is faster and cheaper and less congested. What do you attribute that to? Is that because you guys use delegated proof of stake, or what is it technically that allows you to be so much faster and cheaper?
Yeah, sure, definitely. First of all, for the consensus mechanism, we are using delegated proof of stake. So which means there is 27 super representative, democratically elected by the TRON holders. So you can see there is 26 billion TRON has been like voted in the network to elect all the super representative. So they produced the block for the TRON network, represent everybody, right? It's kind of like U.S. democratic system. So you has all the senator represent different states, right? They represent the interest of the states in the federal government. So the super representative represent their holders and in the TRON network. So which means, I think this is very important, and which means the network won't be like monopoly by like one big miners, because we have heard like some of the story that Bitcoin and Ethereum sometimes is monopoly by certain kind of the mining pool, right? Because these days, if you are like an Ethereum holder or Bitcoin holder, you can't vote for your network, right? So basically, the network is dominated by the people who buying those equipments, right? So the better equipment they have, right, the more chips they have, the more mining powers they have, which means they dominate the markets and the network. So I think Tron gave lots of the democratic rights to the holders in the Tron network. I think that's one thing we're gonna attribute to. And then the second thing, I think Tron used a very special PBFT mechanism as well. So this is introduced in the Tron 4.0. So which means Tron is even faster than before. So this is like a brand new consensus mechanism we are introducing in the Tron network, which makes Tron even faster than before.
And we see the results of this, that because of your unique proof of stake consensus model, it's actually working better. Do you see that other blockchains that are proof of work are going to kind of fall to the wayside? They're going to disappear because proof of stake is proving to be a faster and cheaper way of doing blockchain?
Yeah, sure, definitely. I think I won't say like they're gonna die out, but I think some of the proof of stake, proof of work network is trying to migrate to proof of stake for sure. Of course, the biggest one is Ethereum, right? Ethereum has been considering transfer from proof of work to proof of stake for quite a long time. We technically even designed the mining power bond in the network to force the miners to transfer to proof of stake. But the problem for Ethereum is because Ethereum has been like so long stuck into proof of work, this kind of the mechanism, it's very hard for them to transfer to proof of stake. And I think Ethereum is doing something never done by anybody before, because they are like transferring a $40 billion network, right? And then this is not like Amazon, right? Shut down their servers for 2 hours and restart it, right? This is like related to all the Ethereum holders. There is gonna be like tens of millions of people, and also the same time it's impossible to shut down the network. So which means I'm super skeptical about like whether Ethereum gonna really do this transaction. But definitely I see a lot of the proof of work network want to basically transfer their network to proof of stake.
Yeah, I mean, Ethereum has been saying they're going to transfer to proof of stake for years now, and they have not been able to do it, and especially trying to fit in sharding. And well, I'll believe it when I see it. But you mentioned that right now there is a lot of DeFi happening. DeFi is super hot right now, and a lot of it's happening on Ethereum. And you mentioned that Tron is also building DeFi projects on Tron as well. What DeFi products do you guys currently have?
Yeah, sure. Currently, we have two DeFi projects. First one is just platform. So this is just like a MakerDAO on Tron. So you can put TRX in the network to get USDJ. It's a stable coin. So basically, it's a collateral network. So you can put TRX at collateral and get stable coin. So this network has been very successful. We have so right now the network has over $30 million TRX, which means more than 1% of the whole network TRX is frozen in the Just platform. And also we newly, basically yesterday, we launched Just Swap. So it's kind of like the Union Swap on Tron. Just by like 1 day, we already achieved 10 million trading volume, US dollar trading volume, actually yesterday, which means Just Network ranked number 6 in the world DEX, even more than Kyber. So wow. Kyber is 8 million something. So Just Swap is more than Kyber. And also if you check the data in terms of the trading numbers. So right now, Just Network is already ranked number 2 in the world. So number 1 is Uniswap. I think they has about 100K trading happens every day. And then number 2 is JustSwap. So we all have 30K. So 30K. And the number 3 is Curve. So Curve has 8,000. So you can see Tron DeFi product really get lots of attraction these days. And I definitely will see more project we're building on top of Tron very soon as well.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned that JustSwap. You guys just launched it, and it's an automated market maker, kind of like Uniswap, and it's been very successful so far. Is it just exactly like Uniswap, but it's on Tron, so it's cheaper and faster, or is there other benefits to JustSwap as well that Uniswap does not have?
Yeah, sure, definitely. I think first of all, definitely if you try JustSwap, you will find out the user experience is so seamless, which is extremely important in this kind of the AMM exchange. I have been like a customer in Uniswap as well. The biggest problem, for Uniswap, the first is trading fee is extremely expensive, and the time process it is very long, which means there is a big problem is when you trying to buy those tokens at a cheaper price, right? And then after like 15 minutes, you find out this transaction is failed. And then if you want to buy a new, buy again, you find out the price is already like 2 times higher than before. That's like the moment you really appreciate if you can get instant settlement, right? So if you try out on JustSwap, you will find out like every project on JustSwap, you can just down instant settlement, which is amazing for like all the traders and users. We are already in talk with several like top Ethereum projects, and they are trying to migrate from Ethereum, or they want to do down like 2 versions, Ethereum and Tron, right? I think that's the first benefits. And then the second benefits, I think, is also about the USDT. So, these days have 4 billion USDT on Tron, because these days in Ethereum, the USDT liquidity has been used by a lot of the traders, right? And lots of the people is using USDT to buy the token. But for Tron, this is like a place that nobody compete with you. So if you have a project, there's a huge buying power here. Ethereum has like 7 billion USDT, and Tron has 4 billion USDT. So, but the Ethereum competition is much more severe compared to Tron. So if you are like a developer, or you are like a builder on the blockchain, I definitely recommend you to issue your project on Tron, which means less competition, and also the same time you have the same kind of the resources, the same kind of level of the investor, and also the same level of the audience here. So definitely, I think Tron is a golden opportunity for the developers.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that you're already in talks with a lot of developers, DeFi projects that are on Ethereum to migrate over to Tron. Now, a lot of the DeFi projects right now are based off of DAI as the coin, the stable coin that's powering it. And you have JST. Do you think that, or USJ, do you think that we'll get to a point where even if they migrate over, the DAI and the USJ will kind of exist together, and you could kind of use them both as collateral for DeFi products?
Yes, definitely. I believe that's definitely possible, because the beauty of Tron is also Tron virtual machine is 100% compatible to Ethereum virtual machine. So which means like every developers, if they want to migrate to Tron, it's seamless. Only 1 or 2 days they can done all the work, because the virtual machine is kind of same. The code they have been write for Ethereum, they can just reuse it and redeploy it. So it's not like, because for example, if you are like an Ethereum developer, you want to migrate to EOS, like a DAO or something, you need to completely rewrite the code. It's take you like 6 months or 3 months to done all the job, you know. EOS is in C++, you know, Ethereum is Solidity, so there's a huge gap. You can't even hire the coder using both language, but for Tron, it's all Solidity. So you can just take the same code, redeploy it. And also, I think in the future, I think we will see some developer is trying to, right now, I think some developer is already trying to build this kind of stuff. It's an atomic swap, right, between DAI and the USDJ. So you can just like, because this is all US dollars, right? It's stable coin. So you can just atomic swap both coins. So that's like something I believe gonna happen in the future. So they can build a bridge between Tron and the Ethereum.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're speaking so much about these DeFi projects, and because DeFi is so hot right now, if you could choose, I want to hear, what is your favorite DeFi project right now? You're looking out, which would be the first one that you would go to and say, hey, we want you here at Tron. I love what you're doing.
Yeah, sure, definitely. I believe the top Ethereum DeFi project, we definitely think what they're doing is amazing. The first one is Maker. I think they provide the infrastructure for the whole industry. For DAI, of course, right now it's using by everybody. And also Compound as well. Compound is a lending platform. They have lots of the lending assets on the Compound platform. And also RV too. You know, RV recently just surpassed Compound, become #2. I mean, in this industry, and also Uniswap, right? Everybody's using it. So and also of course, despite of these 4 projects, we welcome like everybody on Ethereum to join Tron family, like Synthetics, Kyber, and BAL, all the projects, because you know, like Poloniex is also one of the good friend of Tron, and the Poloniex has listed all the Ethereum DeFi tokens. So even we are doing the DeFi projects on Tron, we are also like a super big supporters on all the Ethereum DeFi projects.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I asked you before about, you know, what's the difference between JustSwap and Uniswap, besides which protocol it's built off of, you mentioned how JustSwap has a better UIUX. And I think that's very important in the DeFi space. These are such powerful tools, but the UIUX sucks. It's really hard to understand. They're really hard to use. So when you do get the developers to come move over to Tron, are you going to try to push to say, hey, don't just come over here because it's better, but push them to actually improve the UIUX?
Yeah, definitely. I think this is extremely important. And also not only about UIUX, I think extremely important is mobile experience. So I think these days, lots of the DeFi developers only focus on web experience. I think they built some like amazing web product, but when the web connect you to the mobile, sometimes it sucks, you know, because in mobile, you are facing a very different kind of the user experience. You are not only needs to be work on iOS, you also need to work on Android, and Android have different kind of the device. You have Samsung, you have Huawei, you have Google, OnePlus, you know, all Oppo, Vivo, Xiaomi, all different kind of the mobile device, you know. You need to like get everybody, you know. So that's why I think this is extremely like difficult, but this is very important because everybody these days spend their times on mobile wallet, right? Mobile apps. So that's why I think this is very important.
Mm-hmm. And when do you see that happening? Because right now, so many of the projects are just working on making it work. You know, that this is such a new technology. They're just coding it so that we could actually atomic swap, you know. But when do you think it's going to come to the point where blockchain is going to be not just working on making it work, but also making it that people could use, that not people like you and me who understand the technology, but I could go to my grandmother and she could trade something?
Yeah, sure, definitely. First of all, I think we have seen a lot of the interest from a very large companies, right? For example, for TRON, it's like Samsung. So Samsung collaborated with us last year and to introduce like all the TRX and TRON ecosystem application on the Samsung blockchain. So right now, if you have a Samsung device, feel free to download Samsung blockchain wallet, and you can just trade TRX and all the other tokens on the Samsung blockchain. So a wallet, Samsung blockchain wallet. So I think this is a big progress, and we have seen a lot of the phone manufacturers seen like Samsung take this kind of approach. They want to do the same. I think last time when I have dinner with Warren Buffett, I show him like about the Samsung smartphone, like how you can use like Samsung phone to send like a crypto. So that's why I think this is definitely a very huge step, because after all the phone developers support all the cryptocurrency, that's is the moment, right? So I can come to Warren Buffett, right? He's same age with my grandma, to say like you can transfer crypto internally. It's not like you need to download something. It's like just in the phone, you can transfer and also you don't need to put the password, just like facial recognition, right? All the biometrics way you can use to transfer the crypto. So and also this time after JustSwap launch, we also collaborate with Samsung, try to ship to all the Samsung device. So that's definitely, I think, is a big opportunity for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Well, like you mentioned, Samsung has teamed up with TRON to really streamline that experience. Is TRON in contact with other phone developers and hardware developers to make similar connections? And do you think that similarly to right now, Samsung runs Android and Apple runs iOS, do you see different phone developers teaming up and exclusively choosing on different blockchain protocols, or the future is they'll support all blockchain protocols?
Yeah. First of all, I think it definitely we have seen a lot of the interest from different phone manufacturers for sure. Because right now Samsung is the #1 Android ecosystem, so I see a lot of the interest from other developers trying to get into this kind of the new space. That's like for sure. And then second, I believe all the phone manufacturer will support this kind of the blockchain protocol selectively first. And also, I will predict they will just support the one who is available on Samsung already, because this is very simple, right? So if you are like a phone developer, for example, you're Apple, right? So you want to support the blockchain, but you definitely want to be the conservative one, right? So Apple is take this kind of the approach all the time, right? So Samsung is the first one to introduce fold phone, right? But Apple didn't do that. I think Apple is trying to see like the fold phone really have markets, right? And then the consumer gonna pay for it, right? Before they move to these markets. And then I think Apple have kind of the similar thoughts on blockchain. So they want to see like how is like the Samsung experiment, and also if Samsung support those blockchain and this is very mature, and I will support that, right? So I think this is their kind of their thoughts, right? How to support the blockchain, and that's why I think also blockchain is like an operating system. So I don't think like every operating system gonna survive eventually, right? I believe eventually going to be only one blockchain system survive, or two blockchain ecosystem survive. It's just like Android, iOS, right? Maybe sometimes gonna have like Windows phone, but you can see even on the phone industry, didn't have like a third operating system, right? So that's why I think for blockchain, it's the same. So eventually, for the network effects, only gonna have like one or two operating systems survive.
I'm assuming that you think that Tron's going to be one of those surviving ones. Who do you think is going to be the second one that survives?
I think definitely. I think right now we have seen Ethereum and Tron. Is the one really has lots of the user case and have a huge community and has a huge developer surround that, right? So you can see like for DeFi ecosystem is the same. Only like Ethereum and Tron has really have DeFi products. Even some like other public chain have made an announcement they're gonna do some DeFi product, but I'm doubted, right? So they're gonna really have users or traders trade it on their platform. And also you can see like for USDT is the same. So right now there's only two biggest issue on both Tron and Ethereum.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's switch gears a little bit. You know, I grew up torrenting on BitTorrent, and sure. You know that's how I downloaded my files. And in the Tron Foundation, you bought BitTorrent. You're now the CEO of BitTorrent, and you just passed 2 billion installs. Congratulations. How does BitTorrent subscriptions work? Isn't it free to torrent?
Yeah, sure, definitely. First of all, everybody is free to torrent, so they can transfer the files to anybody with high scalable performance. So the first time when Satoshi invented the Bitcoin, it's actually very funny. So when Satoshi posted his idea about Bitcoin and the Bitcoin white paper in 2008, right? The first reply below the Satoshi white paper is somebody suggesting him talk to BitTorrent to make BitTorrent accept Bitcoin because they share the similar technology. And also they told Satoshi is like, BitTorrent has lots of users. If you can make Bitcoin compatible with BitTorrent, Bitcoin gonna be everywhere. So that's also the original idea why when we acquired BitTorrent, we introduced BTT on Binance Launchpad, right? Because we want BTT token to be available for everybody in this space. So these days, you can already spend BTT to accelerate your downloads. And also the same time, you can accept BTT for uploading files. And also we work with other developers, introduce BTFS. So basically this is a brand new decentralized storage network. You can introduce like all different kind of the files. You can store in the decentralized network. So basically, if you put your files in BTFS, means this is all encrypted pieces put in different kind of the network. And this is super reliable. It's not depend on the centralized server. And also it's very cheap because you use other people's computer. And you don't need to afraid of other people get access to your files because it's encrypted. So that's why I believe this is also a huge opportunity for lots of people.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned this connection between BitTorrent and Bitcoin, even at the beginning, even the first time Satoshi hosted Bitcoin. Do you think that BitTorrent, it wasn't exactly fully decentralized like a blockchain is, but do you think it was that first idea of kind of this peer-to-peer transactions? There it's files, now it's peer-to-peer cash and peer-to-peer Bitcoin, but I think BitTorrent was kind of this first idea of this decentralized peer-to-peer exchange on the internet.
Yeah, definitely. I believe so. I believe there is like there's a two like revolution of decentralization, like revolution. I think first one is BitTorrent and the second is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin back to like 2003 is disruptive the whole entertainment industry because people find out you can like torrent the files, whatever you can, right? So back to 2003, a lot of the people is talking about BitTorrent. And you know what? The BitTorrent is actually the first time people find out decentralization doesn't mean you have lower efficiency. Because before that, if we use like decentralized way, like rather than centralized way, you will find out the efficiency going to be like much lower, you know, because you need to talk to like several nodes, which means the transaction going to be slow, right, compared to the centralized services, right? But this is the first time ever you find out actually decentralization can be like 100 times or even 1,000 times faster than centralized services, you know, in the file transfer industry. So that's why BitTorrent has been extremely popular. And also the second time is Bitcoin, of course. And Satoshi himself didn't like give lots of the credit to BitTorrent, but definitely I think Vitalik, the founder of Ethereum, and the Charles Hopkins, the founder of Cardano, they speak very highly of BitTorrent, and they also believe BitTorrent is the first time for the whole decentralized industry find out actually this is a way actually we can doing better with a decentralized way rather than centralized way.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned this idea of these two, you know, revolutions of decentralization, and it's still so young. Bitcoin is still so young, only slightly more than 10 years old, and Tron's even younger. And this whole idea, we're still innovating. It's still so new. At what point, when do you think we'll see this mass adoption of blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies? When will it be that it's not just something that a small group of really smart people know, but it's something that everyone knows?
Yeah, sure. Definitely, I have like so much like confidence for our industry. I think we have accomplished amazing progress in the first 10 years, as you said, right? I think for the second 10 years, we will see mass adoption for sure. And recently, we see this kind of the huge increase on DeFi industry. And I believe this is like the second revolution, even more than the ICO age, you know. So back to 2017, we have seen lots of the ICO waves at that time. I think the problem for the ICO waves is the concept is too simple. So basically, you just get like ERC20 tokens, that's it, right? And raise the money, right? Build some cool stuff. But this is not like sophisticated enough to support lots of the application. But DeFi this time, I think is a completely different story because you can see a lot of the very complicated financial structure and the financial product can be created by smart contract. And you can see like, for example, if I want to take some collateral and buy or even get like a stable coin, right? Like DAI, it's just like you put your house like to get like mortgages, right? In the traditional finance way, it may take like you a month to get mortgages, but in blockchain industry, it only takes you like half an hour. Just interact with the smart contracts. Is only, and also remember the services is 24/7. It's not like shut down as a traditional finance works, right? So that's why I believe we will see a lot of the financial institution will start to build DeFi products, and we will see a lot of the people gonna really like use financial products, right? I can give you like some examples. Even we haven't seen those products, but I imagine we're gonna see this product very soon. For example, if I buy like Apple stock, right? I can even take my Apple stock as a collateral, right? Just like Ethereum, right? To put, and then I can borrow DAI or USDJ or USDT, right? So I can get fiat money and I can spend like somewhere else, right? And then for some like real estate like companies, they can put their house, right, on the network, and people just can, if you put your house on the network, I can also take the house to get mortgages, right? And also like there's a lot of the way, right, you can start to basically start to use this kind of the DeFi product. So that's why I think the second wave we're gonna facing in 2020 and 2021 are gonna be amazing.
Well, you mentioned the idea, the reason the ICOs didn't work was because they were too simple, and now we have these sophisticated DeFi products. But isn't there a danger that these DeFi products are kind of too sophisticated, that even though they're decentralized and unbiased, anyone can use them, but not everyone can understand how to use them? So when centralized products, I go to the bank, I don't know exactly how a mortgage works, but I ask my banker, I need a mortgage. He explains to me and he helps me. With DeFi, isn't there a fear or a danger that people want to get a mortgage, they want to use these products, but it's just too complicated for them?
Yeah, definitely. I believe definitely this is like a challenge for the industry. So even for like Just Swap, Just Network, I always talk to the team. I think the most important thing is we need to have like a very simple education material, like videos, like 1 minute for you to understand how like Just Swap works, right? 1 minute for you to understand how this financial product can be used in the in just for grammar, right? Is you can take just 1 minute to understand all the products. So I think education is one of the like the most important thing. And also I also seen there is some risk, of course, in the DeFi industry. We already seen that in the March 12th this year. So when the market go down like crazy, right? So Bitcoin go down from like $9,000 US to $3,000 US just in like 12 hours, and Ethereum is also going down less than $100 in very short period of time. And then a lot of the collateral in the maker network, they have to liquidate it. But at the same time, because of this kind of the crash in the markets, everybody is trying to liquidate their assets. And the Ethereum scalability has lots of issues. So there is a huge amount of the assets, they just can't liquidate themselves. So by the time like everybody everything comes down, and lots of the people lost money because they can't liquidate those assets on time because of the congestion of Ethereum network. So we have seen a lot of these. So I think eventually this solved by a maker and all the other DeFi projects just borrow the money from venture capitalists and then pay back those loans. They just like or doing some auction, right, for those collaterals, try to pay back the money. So that's why I also encourage a lot of the Ethereum developers to diversify their portfolio. They need to build on TRON network and also have other collateral other than Ethereum, right? So if you have like USDC, USDT, because they are stablecoin, they're not gonna be liquidated, right? And then if you build on TRON network is faster, you can liquidate them on the right time, you know, and to prevent all this risk. But I think if we only have the single collateral, for example, Ethereum, or only in like one network in the Ethereum, and then when sometime like March 12th occur again, I think a lot of the people are gonna take a very hard hit at that time, because we already see in the March 12th this year. But at that time, I think it's kind of like okay, because the maker, the money in the maker DAO is small. It's like, I think at that time it's only 400 million, 500 million or something. But today, like we have seen RV is about 1 billion, right? Maker definitely above 1 billion and continue to grow, right? And for example, like when Ethereum increased above like 1,000 US dollar, or even about 2,000 US dollar, or even about 3,000 US dollar in the next wave, right? If like one day they crash from 3,000 to 300, right? I think gonna be a disaster. So that's why I definitely think that we need to diversify the portfolio in the DeFi network.
Mm-hmm. And for sure, I mean, with any investing, diversification is 101. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. That's great advice. And there's a lot of students from all over the world, a lot of universities watching this right now. So, you know, with schools all over the world closed or canceled because of COVID, what kind of advice do you have for students who are interested in blockchain?
Yeah, sure, definitely. The biggest advice I have is, because everybody is in house right now, so why not just like check on TRON network? You know, we have like all the developer material. Even right, you are not like a pro in programming, but you can still try, because we have all the tutorials. You can just work on like very simple like TRON projects. You know, you can also try to just issue some TRC20 tokens on your own. You can even name the token after your name, you know, and then try to get into blockchain, try to build something in the blockchain. It is no need to be like very sophisticated, right? You can just build a demo and then try it out. I believe the blockchain is the next wave for the whole financial industry. And then get to be a programmer is the first step. And then if you don't understand any kind of the programming, that's fine too. You can start to learn about how like DeFi product works. And then you can basically have some education videos. You can tell this kind of the idea to your friends, participate in the meetup, and then even get an internship, a job, right, in those startups. I think this is definitely a way you can get into blockchain industry, and I think you won't be regret because I mean blockchain industry, you can work here for 10, 20 years. I think this is a very young industry. You can be here forever.
Well, Justin, Sun, thank you so much for taking the time to explain to us a little bit about TRON and your views on, you know, the amazing things that are happening in this world. It's not often that that someone like me gets to talk to someone who's actually has control over these things. So it's really a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For all our viewers at home, for Reimagine 2020, I'm Yonah Hochhauser. Thanks for watching.